updates, and we'll just open it up to questions. I gotta say, the park has come alive over the past couple of weeks.
It's looking amazing, yeah, absolutely. So real quick, to start off with, sales, year to date, so last year to date, we had sold 48 at this point in time. This year we've sold 199, and George is certain we're going to hit 200 today. Wow. So in the vault, about 961. And again, that is after the foreclosure sale. So normally that foreclosure sale shoots us up over 1,000. We actually stayed below 1,000 this year. Financials for April have been released. So real quick recap. Revenue year to date. So again, this is up to April. $925,000 for revenue for 2025. Compare that to $860,000 in 24 and $866 in 23. And then let's see, total net ordinary, negative 60,000. This time last year we were negative 266, so definitely heading in the right direction there. And in 2023 we were negative 403. The bottom line, so total comprehensive activity for 2025 year to date is at 6,820. Last year we were at negative 179,864 during the same time period. So again, we've crossed into the black for the first time during this time in 3 years. So that's huge headways made there. Total cash and investments in 2024. In April we were sitting at 586,000. In April this year we were sitting at 1.1 million. So doing great cash wise as well. Yeah, absolutely. And again, as I've said in weeks before, in the budget, when you look at our budget and our profit and loss, you don't see that much influx in cash. That is spread out across the year to handle operations throughout the year. So we see a huge spike in cash at the beginning of the year, and we use that throughout the year. We're still on track, though, to have a great year by the end of the year and still be able to put a little bit back. So that is all exciting news there. Work campers needed. So I know I've been preaching this a lot. But if you're on park and you want to work camp, we can use you. And in the past, what stopped people from work camping is, hey, I can't commit to 3 months and I can't commit to 24 hours. Well, no more excuses. We've knocked those barriers down for you. If you can come in for 10 hours a week for 3 weeks, that's perfect. We will work with your schedule and work with the area that you want to be in, and we'll just be prorating your nightly stays. So you won't get the full benefit like if you were here for 24 hours, but you'll get a prorated discount on your night stays. So if you are interested in that, we need a lot of help in food and beverage, housekeeping, and maintenance. Those are our main areas right now that we really need somebody to step up and help us out in. Let's see. Independence Day celebration taking place next week. That's huge, July 5th. Check out the activities calendar. We've got stuff every single day, everything from tournaments to family-friendly events. Amy, is there anything you wanted to highlight specifically about next week?
Yeah, we're doing a color run.
The color run?
For the very first time, you can walk, you can run. If you've ever seen a...
Let me come to you because I can't repeat all that.
We're doing a color run for the very first time. Has anybody ever seen or heard about a color run before? Okay.
Got a few hands.
It's really, really cool. You can walk, you can run. We're going to have a path through the park, and there's going to be people with squirt guns of paint that are going to squirt you with paint while you walk and run through the park. And by the time you get done, you are going to laugh till you cry because it's going to be so much fun. So you can sign up for that online. And all skill levels are welcome. We'll have water. It's going to be a blast. And I hope you guys participate.
When is it? It's going to be on the 4th.
The 4th, July 4th. What time?
I can't remember.
Can't remember off the top. Okay, so look at the calendar. The time's on the calendar. So a lot of fun stuff planned for next week. We actually met with our fireworks company at the end of last week as well. And that whole setup is going well. Eastern Heights will be here to play just like last year. They did an amazing job, so we're super excited about them. Yeah. All right. A couple other things to announce. The ticket office is open. Breakfast is open as well. That's Thursday, Fridays, and Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. And a huge thank you to Patricia and Frank Dodd, who stepped up to lead that effort, and all the volunteers that have been helping out in there as well. It's a lot of work to put on breakfast. And we've seen a lot of people. Still need help in the rock and roll. Right now we're serving drinks and sweet treats from 5 to 8 on the same days, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So there's still some offering there. We just don't have enough people stepping forward to say, hey, I want to run the register and I want to be on the grill to open it up for a full menu. So if you're interested in that, please come and let me know after this meeting, and we'll get you hooked up. The election committee has been meeting. They're doing a wonderful job. Did you want to say anything about the election committee?
Make sure that your address is right, so when we mail the ballots out, they won't be returned undeliverable. We're just trying to get everything going.
Yeah, so we're looking at all the policies and procedures so that we're kind of rebuilding it this year, since before we used Abacus, and this year we're bringing it in-house. So this is the election committee runs this committee. They're the ones that get the ballot ready. We got 5 people serving on the committee right now, right? Yeah, 5. So they will be making the ballot and then making sure that all the operations of the day of counting the ballot, we've got enough people to do that, and the ballots are counted and tabulated, and we've got results. So big thing. It's a lot of work, so thank you to them as well. So, I tripled their pay, but it was at 0, so it didn't do much help. And then long-term planning committee has continued to meet. They're planning to present something to the board next board meeting. So they'll have some kind of the first draft of here are the ideas, here's the direction we're thinking. So we've talked about a lot of different things in long-term planning, and we've got 2 subcommittees, one on member engagement and growth technology, and the other one on infrastructure. And some amazing ideas coming out of both of those subcommittees. And again, these are long-term plans, so 3, 5, and 10 years. So we got to kind of get prepared now for what we want to look like at that point in time. So they're hard at work as well. All right, those are all the major updates that I had. Anybody have any questions? Yes, sir. Yeah, let me get to you, because I'm bad at remembering to repeat them.
I want to apologize last night for the golf cart parade that we didn't go out in the 4, so we missed the kids. We are going to go down there tonight. Then afterwards, we're going to go outside and park in front of the Welcome Center and have a little ceremony for the memorial there. And if anybody wants to come after the parade, they can come up here too.
Gotcha. What time?
It should be over by 9 maybe.
Perfect. So 9 at the memorial wall. Big, quiet crowd today?
This is just a thank you. I walk all over this park, and we noticed a leak right down there at the pump station, up at phase 1. I told Ty, and he said, I'll get right over hold of the maintenance department. Well, I called the security myself, and they got right on it and fixed it. Praise the Lord, no more leaks.
Yeah. We're working hard at it, absolutely. Hit you first, and I'll come over to you next.
Yeah, don't forget, we have a jam here at 6 o'clock every Tuesday. Singers are welcome. We have a wonderful time here. We had a good crowd last week. Just come and join us.
So what day?
Tuesday, every Tuesday at 6 o'clock right here in this building. And we want listeners, we want singers, and we have a pretty good band on stage.
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
First off, I want to thank you. You're doing a great job, so I really appreciate it. We've been members for 6-7 years, so really love what's going on here. There we go. I got some thoughts. I talked to you about this in the past. You told me to email you. I forgot the email address, so I'm just going to tell you now.
Okay.
Is there a way we could connect 4 to 1 on the walking trail so we could do a whole loop instead of turning halfway and coming back at some point?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's something for that long-term planning committee to take a look at. Trails have come up a couple of times in those committees on the infrastructure side. So if anybody who's in here on the long-term planning committee, raise your hand. There's somebody in here I know there has to be. There you go. Can you jot that down?
Definitely.
Perfect. So we can bring that up as well. Thank you for that. Anybody else? I saw one over here. Yep.
I was going to ask you about the golf carts that's been in storage, and some of them, where the carts just ripped, they look squatty, and if I knew you had mentioned y'all was going to put new carts, dark covers on them, and they're sending them a bill. I hope you do that because they'll dress it up, and I think, and the guy's name Mike that's over the storage.
Michael? Yep.
He's doing a good job on getting some of the ratty campers out. I see some still that hadn't been moved in years, and maybe we get rid of them because it's looking good.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. Yeah, it's a work in progress for sure. And this year we're talking about moving that storage inspection when it's a little bit cooler and everybody's put their campers back for the year. That gives us an opportunity to make sure that they've moved out for their 7 days. And then again, our staff being out there when it's not the busiest time on the park and sweltering heat. So.
Are you going to be able to still cover the golf carts?
Yeah, as far as the golf carts, so we bought a bunch of covers. We have them. We've been reaching out to owners that have if you need one, if you're on site and you're like, man, I need, next time I'll bring one, just go to the front and we can get you a new golf cart cover. Because yeah, there's some that are looking pretty bad out there, for sure. So, yes, sir.
I don't know if it's ever happened where the park has been completely full. What happens if an owner comes in and you don't have a parking available? Is there an out for that?
So that's not something I've experienced yet. At that point, for me, it's a call to our board, and we'll put our heads together and figure out what best next steps might look like. So we're keeping a close eye on the occupancy. I've been told that we filled up about a week earlier than we normally do. So I'm not going to lie, I'm a little bit nervous that I don't want to turn anybody away, and I don't want anybody to show up and not have a place to be. So we're keeping a close eye on it. Security's going around and making sure that occupancy is updated. You'll see that it dropped a little bit overnight. We had about 20 people leave out, but those spots are getting filled right back up. So we're keeping a close eye on it, and if that comes up, our number one priority is take care of our owners, obviously. So on the other hand, if there's not a spot, there's not a spot. So then it comes into what happens next, and that'll be a conversation that I'd have with the board. Yes, ma'am. Let me come to you.
The 4th of July thing is the gates is going to be closed, right, to the public?
Correct, yeah. 4th of July, so on the 5th of July when we're having our 4th of July celebration, it is not open to the public. So it is open to owners and their guests, but not just the general public. That is correct. And we met with the pyrotechnics company last week, like I said, and I think it's going to be a great show. We're really excited about it. Anybody not here last year? You weren't here last year. No, if you weren't here last year, you didn't come to last year. Yeah, so we got people that weren't here last year. So it was a great show last year. We're hoping for even a better show this year.
Did they shoot them off down there?
Yes, ma'am. We're going to be shooting them at the same spot as last year. So in between us and the IMAX, there on that frontage road is where they're going to be set up. So we'll be in that field, and we'll be at the pavilion, and you'll be able to see them across the park as well. So, you know. And just a reminder, we do have an event. So one of the things that has been an issue in the past is we get everybody in here to park, the show ends, and everybody tries to leave at the same time, and everybody's stuck in traffic. So we spoke with the staff about what's a good way that we could mitigate that traffic. We talked about a bunch of different ideas. One of them that came up and we decided on was having another event after the fireworks to maybe lessen that traffic, everybody leaving at once. So we will be having a night swim pool party, and the fire ring will be active. We'll do s'mores and all that good stuff, marshmallows and hot dogs, and it'll be a great time. So stick around for that after the fireworks, and if we can get enough people to stick around for that, maybe traffic won't be so bad. That's our hope, at least. And she's coming. She said she's talking about s'mores already. Yes, ma'am.
Just a quick reminder, can everybody please just remember to shut off the lights if you use the bathroom? men and women both, you know, let's try to reserve them, keep them, the lights shut off like we should. Thank you.
Keep the doors
Absolutely.
closed.
And keep the doors closed, yeah.
Men's bathrooms, the door is wide open.
It's wide open, huh?
There's that we can run.
Yeah. If you see something and you can, yeah, absolutely, yeah. If you see something, you can fix it. You know, take care of it. If you can, if it's not something simple as closing the door, let maintenance know. So, absolutely.
People want to realize that costs us money.
Yeah, absolutely.
Electricity.
Yeah, it's electricity for sure. Just a reminder too, over the next week, I would love to get information from you guys about how your stay was and what areas are we doing really well in, what areas can we improve in. Obviously, we're not there yet. We've got an amazing team, great staff, great volunteers, and if you look across the park, there's been a lot of progress and a lot of change, and that's good. We still got a long way to go in a lot of areas, and I'd love your feedback. So if you go to our website, one, you can scan those QR codes that we plastered maybe around the park. There's one on the exit there. You can see one on the door over there. It's that QR code you can scan with your phone. If you don't like QR codes, that's fine too. Just go to our website, scroll all the way down to the bottom, touch the QR code or click on it, and it'll bring up that same form. There's two forms. One of them is a feedback form, so that's just tell us how we're doing, and that's what I'd love for you guys to do during your stay. And the second one is a maintenance request form. So if you see something wrong in the park that needs to be fixed, click that form, tell us what's wrong, where it's located at, and then we'll get on trying to get that fixed. So, yes, sir.
Was there a program that they were asking people if they would donate $20 to help upgrade the park? I didn't know that until this the other day. If it is, I'd like to know and maybe get people to do that. There's some sites that could be improved.
Yeah, absolutely. We do still have a capital improvement fundraiser. There's a sign over there that you can take a look at. We're currently just over 70,000. Let me get you the exact number though. So $70,029 of the goal of $127,672. So we're still lacking in that area. Again, those funds are funds that we set aside on our balance sheet. They are restricted for capital improvements, and really it refills a reserve that we've already invested in those improvements. So the roofs were part of that project. The repainting were part of that project. A pond in phase 2 being cleaned up was part of those projects. So we've already made that investment, and we're hoping that if the members continue to contribute to that and kind of refill that bucket, we can continue doing improvements out of that bucket. So, yeah. Yes, sir.
I see people in phase 2 fishing in the pond that they cleaned out. Is there fish in that pond now?
Did you see him catch anything? Well, I'll tell you, there actually are some fish in that pond. We've got a school of minnows. I've got pictures of them. Not sure how they got there. I've been told birds drop eggs, but nature finds a way. So we do have small fish. So bring really small hooks if you're planning on fishing that pond. So yeah. I drive by every once in a while and see somebody fishing too. But you know, there's something relaxing about fishing, even if you don't catch something. So I just leave it alone. Yes, yeah, there is a plan to stock, so that's part of kind of the pond revamp. We've gotten 3 quotes. We've been told it's better to stock in the fall, so that's kind of our target date for that as of now. It's kind of waiting for the fall. But we've got some really neat angler packages though, so a good variety of fish, kind of an ecosystem they drop in the pond. So very exciting. Yes, ma'am.
Way that a doggy place where you can take your dogs to go. I mean, you know, a nice sink, anything, water.
So like a sink and something that's conducive to give a dog a bath, some area. Okay. Gotcha. I don't know that we have anything on site right now. Do you think? Yeah.
And it wasn't expensive, so we should look into it.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. We can look into that for sure. Yeah, because it's quite messy when you do that in a bathhouse, I'll tell you. Please don't do that in a bathhouse. Please don't do that in a bathhouse. Any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
Few questions.
Okay.
My first question is have we considered getting larger washing machines or do we have access to larger washing machines on property anywhere?
So Johnny Morris is actually upgrading our laundry facilities, and I don't have an exact timeline on that for all of them to be updated, but they're going to be updated and should have a higher capacity than they currently have. But as far as like big commercial units, I don't know if that's in the plans right now, but that's something the long-term planning committee can look at doing.
And then just confirming, we were told that you can mow your site. There's no problems in doing that, and there's nothing in the rules that would regulate or have an issue if you choose to mow your own site.
Yeah, if you choose to do any sort of site maintenance, that's very much appreciated while you're on the site. So please feel free to do that. I would just ask you to be very careful, obviously, if you're next to campers, don't knock out a window, but yeah, absolutely, it would be much appreciated.
And lastly, just confirming, at one point, we thought you couldn't have UTVs. Has that changed and you can have a UTV and there's no problems with that?
Yeah, that's kind of changed a little bit over the past few years. The best way to explain it is if like four-wheelers obviously are no-go, UTVs are fine. If you have to like straddle it, then it's probably a no-go, is a good way of, and of course, go-karts that, you know, are super low to the ground or something different, but golf cart-esque vehicles are allowed. Yep. Yeah, so her question was about UTVs, if UTVs are allowed on park. Kind of where's the line with that? So, yep.
So they are allowed?
Yes, sir. Yep. Golf cart-esque vehicles. Yep. Oh, hi.
Hi, could you please explain the new 5-day rule of leaving your RV and what goes along with it? There's a lot of confusion and a lot of social media on it this week.
Gotcha. So the 5-day rule, you're allowed to leave your, just in the past it was 2 days, right? So you could come, you could park, you could get set up, you could stay, say a week, and then you go home for the weekend. It's the exact same concept, but instead of 2 days, it's 5. As many times as you would like. Yep. Yeah, there's no restriction on it.
But you have to come back.
You do have to come back within the 5 days, and you do have to be paying for that site for the entire time. If you don't come back, we sell your RV. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
There's one right next to me for sale.
Okay. Have you had one that you think somebody hasn't come back to?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Have you reported into security?
That's not the only one.
Okay.
No, I haven't.
Well, please do again. See something, say something. Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to. I mean, it's hard to. We typically see. I mean, security's really good about noticing somebody's been gone, right?
Well, someone said that you could like come back for 15 minutes and then leave again and you start over.
No, you'd have to stay another night. Yeah. I mean, they're yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah, I mean, security most of the time, and I know that security is monitoring it, because if there is a problem, I'm told about it. Hey, so and so hasn't been back, and then we have to reach out to that individual. So not something that's happened a lot, but something that they are keeping an eye on.
Next to us is on day 8.
Okay.
And the air's hooked up, the air conditioner's running, but not even the water.
Now there are times. So if somebody comes to me, part of the latitude that I'm given, if somebody comes to me and say, hey, we had a medical emergency, we have to leave. Then I have the latitude to say, hey, you're allowed to stay for that. But honestly, that's not something that I've done a lot. I mean, I can count on one hand how many people that have needed that. So, but yeah, if you think somebody's been gone for an extended period of time, please let security know so we can follow up on it. Absolutely. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I've kind of made this request before, but I know there's a reason why that it hasn't been done. On the main road, as we're coming in, you know, where you go to phase 2, you take that left. Right there on that corner, that at night, it's really dark. There's a pole that's got a light up there that's not working, but it is extremely high. So I'm assuming we don't have the way to get up there and replace it, but could that be looked into again, because there's a ditch on either side of that?
Gotcha.
And
Yeah.
yeah.
Amy, can you jot that down again? The vast majority of the lights were fixed. We don't own all of them. The electric company owns some of them, so that can prevent, but I think they came out and fixed all theirs as well. There was only a couple, and I'm not sure if that's one of them, but Amy will jot it down. I'll get with maintenance and see if we can get that taken care of. Okay? You got one?
Would it put too much on security if you require people to leave and to check out on security and then check back in when they come in, then you would know?
And typically they do. They let security know. I just couldn't guarantee that every single person has let them know, and then it's really on security to drive around and kind of notice that stuff. So, and they do I would say a really good job at monitoring that. But I'm sure there are times when somebody might slip through. So if that happens, again, as an owner, please don't take advantage of that. Please don't do that. And if you're an owner and you see that happening, let security know so we can take care of it, please. Yes, sir.
I'd probably jumping the gun here, but I know maintenance mows this front area on Thursdays. So we can wait to put blankets out, chairs out. I know everybody gets excited for the 4th, but usually maintenance takes care of the front on Thursdays and Friday mornings. So if we can wait to put our blankets and chairs out, it'd help maintenance.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for that. Yes, ma'am.
My husband's going to kill me for talking so much. He said he was going to leave, just so you know. But I do want to say that we have been owners for probably since 2016, and with the vision of future thinking, it has brought us back to the park, to actually being here, such as, I know it's not very popular for the 5-day rule, but for us, I mean, we've stayed in the park more than we ever have in the past because it gives us a lot more opportunities. So I know sometimes that's harder for the change on that side, but I also know it's important for the park to have a future as well. So we appreciate, the future thinking and trying to make sure that we're looking at all facets. I mean, every generation should be respected, and definitely I think our generation needs to do a lot more volunteering, but we just want to let you know we do appreciate that, and appreciate that you guys are trying to keep the park open, for future and for everything, and try to keep everyone happy, which is very easy to do, I'm sure. So.
Yeah, keeping everyone happy is it's actually the easiest part of my job. No, I appreciate you saying that, because I hear both sides from people. I hear people that praise the 5-day rule, and I hear people that are very upset at the 5-day rule. And it really becomes an issue on holidays like this when we get really, really full. So I get both sides. I think you're right. We're trying to increase the availability that people can come to the park by extending that. So, yes, sir.
My wife and I have been fortunate up here to do a lot of traveling, state parks, national parks, private parks. In my opinion, this is the best park in the United States.
I'll take that. Write a letter. We're going to put it on the website as a review. It'll pop up.
TripAdvisor.
Yeah, TripAdvisor review.
Best and second best park.
We have, yeah.
More than once.
Yeah, and
Don't know it.
yeah, and then we also won bronze in Southwest Missouri RV park. So our goal is next year for that to be a gold. So, yeah, absolutely. I can tell you that feeling doesn't happen without the staff and the board and the volunteers that it takes to make all facets of the park work. So if you've volunteered, if you're a staff member, if you're a board member, thank you for the time that you give to the park to make this place great. Absolutely. Yes, sir.
And that should make that $20 extra be cheap. I don't understand why $20 would really affect anybody.
Yeah.
I'm not knocking anybody down, but if you can't pay the $20, you can't afford to give it.
Yeah. For everybody that's online, he's just saying he doesn't understand why not everybody has donated that $20. And yeah, absolutely. I think if we all go out to eat, I'm just repeating, we all go out to eat to spend $20. Yeah. Give up one meal and give your $20 to Treasure Road, is what she's saying. Right. Absolutely. It's going to make this park great for future generations. And I am proud of our long-term planning committee as well. They're putting a lot of work in thinking long-term and what needs to happen now over the next few years to make sure we can meet those long-term goals. So we're in an exciting place. We're climbing up a mountain and we're getting new vision, new views that we haven't seen before, and it's full steam ahead. So that's a great note to end on, unless there's any more questions. It's only 10:29 though. Yes, sir.
Has there ever been any talk about a fenced-in dog area?
Never. No. There's been a lot of talk about a fenced-in dog area. That's something that's been talked about in the long-term planning committee as well. One of the major issues with that is, according to the bylaws, we can't put up any new fence. Now, there are some ways around the fencing. We could do some sort of temporary fencing. There's also some insurance concerns. Obviously, that changes a little bit. None of those are insurmountable, but I also hear from other people that say we don't want a dog park. So the long-term planning committee is kind of mulling that over as well. It's been brought up in a couple of meetings. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now with the dog park. Yeah.
Branson does have a dog park.
But Branson does have a dog park.
You have to pay something, 25 a year or something, but Branson does have a decent dog park.
Did you say you're going to volunteer to walk dogs?
No, not me.
That's what you could do, get some kids to walk.
Get some kids to walk them and you can get them paid. Yeah. So if there's any young entrepreneurs out there, I hear a business opportunity knocking. Yes, sir.
We bought a Wi-Fi unit that covers TV and internet at home or in your RV, and it made it awful easy for us setting up this time because I didn't have to try to get parked by a Wi-Fi unit.
Yeah.
And just a recommendation, anybody that wants to consider that, they're about $50 a month, and I guess you can put them on vacation home. So I think it'll work out good for us.
Or they can rent up in the.
Mm-hmm.
But they're very limited.
Yeah. Great advice. You know me, I'm not afraid to end early. Any other questions, or is everybody out ready to go out and enjoy the park? I just got a motion to adjourn. He's leaving. He's out. Oh.
He calls me Karen. We just had somebody park beside us, and long-term storage brought them out, and then either they didn't know, or maybe it's good to be said, they left because they have them bringing it on the site, must not left their air or anything on, and all they did was plug it in, and so it really wasn't pulled down when the unit came. So is there anything that is, other than them just towing it from the long-term unit and plugging it in, that's all they do? They never go in the unit and stuff like that. I'm assuming they should have known that, but maybe they didn't know that, but.
Yeah, that's correct. So we'll tow the unit out and kind of hook everything up, but we don't turn anything on. So, yes, ma'am.
Well, I wanted to speak on the dog park.
Okay.
I know that we can walk our dogs anywhere we want to, but we traveled to South Carolina, and all the really nice parks that we stayed at had dog parks. So I don't know if we're in competition with having what others have or not, but that might be something to consider. A lot of people are crazy about their dogs. And
Take a vote right now. This is a non-binding vote. Let me be very clear. Raise your hand if you would like to see a dog park. Raise your hand if you do not want to see a dog park. So by a quick poll for those online, no dog park has it. Who doesn't care one way or the other? Those are opportunities to sway, so whichever side wants to go after those people. Yes, ma'am.
We managed a park in Colorado for 10 years, and that was the biggest problem, was the dog situation. And sometimes if you have a dog park, people will bring their dog and leave their dog. So then you have a problem there. So there are other aspects to having a dog park.
Yeah.
Completely.
Yeah, it certainly presents some challenges, and I'm not saying those challenges aren't overcomable, but it's not as simple as just putting a fence up and saying we have a dog park. Yeah, I get that as well. Yes, sir.
Speaking of dogs, what are we supposed to do when you see someone walking their dog and they let them go to the bathroom and they don't pick it up? Because I have a family member in maintenance that watched the dog do it right up in the playground by 3, and they just kept walking.
Yeah.
What are we supposed to do about that? Are we supposed to call security? Let them know?
You
Because
certainly.
It's rude and disrespectful to everybody in the park.
Yeah.
Take their picture.
So we've got some mixed responses. Take their picture, haze them, shun them, call security.
Put it back on their
Yeah. She said put it back on their step. Please don't do that. Yeah, you can absolutely call security for something like that. I mean, that's a ticketable offense. So please pick up after your animals. Just a reminder to everybody, please pick up after your animals. Okay. Even if it's on your site, it's still required that you pick up after your animals. So, yes, sir.
I have gone into quite a few parks in my life, and one thing depends upon what your salesperson informs you, because a lot of people don't read your contract. And so an advice to the salespeople would be, if you're having that problem, to make sure the new prospective people know these rules. And matter of fact, I just reading my contract the other day, and it said that you were actually supposed to have your dues paid by June. I'd never paid them before that because I didn't know that until I really read my contract through. So I think that is also in perspective of the salesperson needs to explain to these people as best as they can.
Absolutely. Yeah, what we find is if our sales team informs somebody, they're going to retain a certain amount of that. And then they're going to get informed of it by other owners that they kind of buddy up with and become friends with. And this is another outlet where people get reminded as well, because typically people are stubborn a little bit. We have to hear it a few times before it really sinks in and we get it. You know, we may get one thing, but we may miss something else. So I think my goal is to provide lots of opportunities for that information to flow so that you get to hear it a lot. So that's kind of my goal. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I just want to go back to, somebody asked what if we were full? and you come here and even overflow is full. I thought that it was written in, I guess, the bylaws or whatever, that if that situation happened, that y'all would find us somewhere to stay at another park until something opened up here and then bring us back. Did that get changed?
It was the rule in 2004.
She said it was a rule in 2004. Was it in the bylaws? Or was it just a rule?
I didn't read that. I was
Okay.
told that when I bought the members.
Gotcha.
If we were ever full, the park would find us a place to go.
Okay. She said that it was told to her when she bought in that if we were ever full, we'd find a place for them to go. So, like I said, we're monitoring it closely. That would be I don't have a quick answer for that one. That would be a board conversation that I'd have with them. And the reason it would be a board conversation is if we had a significant number of people showing up, and that could be impactful to the financials of the park, and not something budgeted. So that would be something that I would reach out to the board for guidance on.
Like the board, the park wouldn't pay for it, you'd have to pay for it if you found a different place to park. You wouldn't be responsible for it.
That's not what she's saying. She's saying that the park would have paid for it.
I never had
So,
in
yeah.
that deal, but we had for a long time.
He said that he's never heard that before. So,
That you would help us find a place, but you'd have to pay for it.
Yeah.
Not the park. Us would have to pay for it. Come and pay us for it.
yeah, I'm
Come earlier next year.
come earlier and stay longer, and I'm hoping that we don't have to worry about that issue. I hope we get real close to that point, and
That would be a good thing to work.
yeah, yeah.
Are we?
Yes, ma'am.
Are we going to stop the back pond?
Yes. Yep. So in the fall. Yeah. Yep. All right. Yes, sir.
Are there any plans to try to go to 50 M on all the sites? That'd make a big difference on what you can do to go where and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So site improvement, that's something that the long-term planning committee is talking about. So it's really easy for us to look at, hey, we're going to make these sites concrete this year. We don't have to wait 3 and 5 and 10 years for that. But what we're going to end up getting into is if we want to start upgrading all of those pedestals to 50 amp, do we have the infrastructure currently in the ground to support that? And if not, when can that infrastructure be replaced or put in? So, yeah. But, I mean, I think you ask any owner or anybody in the long-term planning committee or anybody on the board, they would love to see all the sites at 50 amp. So that's...
Anybody has 2 air conditioners really needs 50.
Yeah. Anybody with 2 air conditioners needs 50 amps, he said, yeah.
Late fall, early spring. My trailer was I can get by on 30 amp. If the temperature is going to stay 60 or below something like that.
Yeah.
But if I
Makes it
drive
really hard in the
outside
middle of
with
summer.
air conditioner, you can't stay in the trailer. Right?
Yeah.
It was just, and I understand that the wire size and all that stuff running through the ground has to be changed and all
Yeah.
that. It's just a pedestal. And you really would have to put 30 and a 50 and a 15, not 55 or 50.
Yeah.
But anybody running 30 just using an adapter to get out.
So he's just kind of discussing, just to recap, if you have 2 air conditioners, which he says most do, it makes it really hard. You can't run both air conditioners without that 50 amp. So kind of a recap. So, and I know that there are lots of solutions and adapters and things that people try to work out. So I'm not an electrician. Don't ask me how to rig that up. He left. He gave me his number though. It was funny. Yeah, he had come up and said that he had worked for an electric company for several years, and I said, "You want to serve on the long-term planning committee? Because we're talking about amps and sites and how can we upgrade and make sure we have the infrastructure in the ground to do so and do it the right way." So I've got his number now. He's on the line. You want to read it to you live? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Yes.
Somebody online wants to know if the bathrooms are being cleaned daily. They also want to know about what we're doing about Wi-Fi. we're doing to open the cafe more days.
Okay, so Wi-Fi,
Yep.
cafe more days, bathhouses being cleaned every day. So yes, bathhouses are cleaned multiple times a day. So again, we need work campers in housekeeping as well. So like today, we've got 4 people that are cleaning rooms, bathhouses, and all common areas, and then 1 person doing laundry. So we are supposed to have an additional 4 staff that are work campers helping clean. So it spreads us pretty thin. If you ever see an issue at the bathhouse, please let somebody know. Don't just leave it for the next person to find. Call the front desk and we'll get somebody out there for sure. There's been times where we walk through with a black light to like check the bathhouses and they're immaculate, and 5 minutes later, let's just say they're not immaculate anymore. So sometimes if you time it, somebody will be there, clean them, drive away, and then somebody will come and utilize them, and they're not in the greatest of conditions anymore. So if you see that, please let somebody know. Even when they were cleaned more frequently last year, we still had the same problem. So if you see something, say something, and let us know so we can get it cleaned up, because we certainly want you guys to have clean comfort stations for sure. So Wi-Fi. We talk about Wi-Fi a lot. We're talking about a long-term planning committee as well. My stance on Wi-Fi at this point in time is we invested a lot of money into a Wi-Fi system that didn't work. There are a lot of ways that an individual can get Wi-Fi and it not cost the park over $1 million to reinvest. So my stance right now, and what I'm hearing from most owners, is we don't want to spend more money on Wi-Fi infrastructure. Let's focus on other infrastructure in the park, because it's really easy for us to go out and either rent one from Treasure Lake, or we have our own solution. We've got Starlink, or we've got our own T-Mobile hotspot or Verizon hotspot. So that's where that sits right now. Rock and roll, we just need more volunteers. That's what it really comes down to. Work campers are volunteers to be able to run the grill. So right now, sweet treats until we get that. We are mulling a couple of ideas around, and hopefully we'll have more information next week on what it will look like for the rest of the season. Because whatever it is, I want it to be consistent, repeatable. It's going to happen. You can count on it. And right now, it's changed a lot throughout the season as we've kind of, we've acted like water and just kind of went with the flow to make sure that we were providing all that we could to our owners. But it's a lot of work back there, and our volunteers do a great job, but we just don't have enough of them. So, all right. What's our time at? 45. All right. Yes.
Someone wants to know if there will ever be a way that we can reserve golf carts ahead of time before you get to the park.
Will there ever be a way to reserve golf carts ahead of time before they get to the park?
And can we get more golf carts?
And can we get more golf carts? I wouldn't say that there's no way that we couldn't reserve golf carts. That's something we can look into. As far as getting more golf carts, the hard part is most of the year we have golf carts sitting there. It's underutilized. So if we could find a way to have a contract that allowed us to have more golf carts at a certain time, that's something that I would be interested in looking at. But as of right now, and they're priced with that in mind, but long term I would love for us to own our golf carts. Right now all those golf carts are leased. And if I could get us to a place where, as those lease contracts came to an end, we would buy and replace that fleet, and then every year buy replacements and sell off the ones that met their lifespan, even to owners that might want them. I think that's the long-term solution, because right now it's an expensive endeavor to lease golf carts just to lease them back out. Yes, sir.
You were talking earlier about the elections. How many board members are up this year?
So we have 3 positions up this year. And I've got board packets in my office. Let's see. and those are due back by August 21st at 5 p.m. So if you are interested, and I know one person has stopped by, and I was actually at the breakfast, they took that name and number. So if you show up and I'm not there for some reason, like it's my day off and you want to get a packet, they'll take down your information, and then I'll come to you or arrange a time where we can meet up and I can give you the packet. So.
In the bathhouses, do you think that they could get like, it might be a little bit of a solution for cleaner bathhouses? Because I think that majority of the owners, if they see a problem, they have the ability to fix it themselves, they're gonna try to fix it. Could we have like a small cleaning supply closet in the bathrooms, and then if you see a mess, or you make a mess, whatever it may be, that you actually clean it up yourself, as opposed to waiting to go tell someone for help?
That's a thought. I'd have to think about that one a little bit. I think in the past, we would like to think that every single owner here would not do or take anything, but leaving chemical out like that can just be taken. I'd have to think about that one. And children getting into it as well. A lot of the issues in the bathhouse and the comfort station aren't normal use. So I'll say that. So we've got individuals that are not respectful to the park. So they are not locked at night. No. It's not happening at night. It's happening in broad daylight. Yes, ma'am. We got one more question back here. 1 second.
Would you address the military memorial wall? I've had a name submitted for 2 years, paid for, and it's not out there yet. So I've been told different things. I'd like to know what's going on.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Well, I can give you an update on that real quick. So we did get one more stone placed. That was last year. The place that we were sourcing the stone from says we can no longer do stones that large. I kind of let that fall to the back burner with everything going on. So we're able to get some smaller stones. So we need to get somebody to kind of design how those smaller stones would fit in, and then get those ordering and get those moving again. So I apologize for that. That's on me. I'm sorry, hang on, let me give you the mic.
There doesn't ever seem to be any publicity about it and getting people interested in submitting new names. So.
Yeah. Well, I think one of the reasons we haven't focused on getting new names is because we haven't been able to keep up with the names that have already been submitted. But that doesn't mean that we don't need to be there. So give me some time to address that, all right? Thank you. Yes, sir.
If we're not getting enough people to volunteer, are we going to have to start paying people hourly to work?
I mean, long term, that is one option on the table. With something like the rock and roll, though, what we have to think about is, the prices that we currently have stuff set at has those volunteers in mind, right? And we try to keep it really affordable for owners. So the price structure would have to change if we're paying an entire staff. Now there's some wiggle room there where maybe we can hire the most needed position, like the person on the cooktop, right? Those are being considered. But yeah, I mean, ultimately, if we were paying, you would think we'd be able to find people to fill those roles. If you look at the paid positions we have in the park, those are certainly much more full than non-paid positions. So that would make me reason that, yeah, if they were paid, we'd get them filled faster for sure. But that comes at a cost. So. Yes, sir. Let me get to you real quick.
I believe we're kind of missing the revenue from this 4th of July weekend coming up on the rock road, right, being closed. So it's a shame. It's somebody that could volunteer and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So he's just pointing out that this is the time we make the most amount of money in the R&R. I mean, this is the biggest impactful week that we have here at the park as far as the amount of people at one time. And I mean, we're certainly making sales with ice cream and soda, but we're missing out on a large amount of sales not providing like a dinner. So yeah. If you've been moved by this conversation and like to work camp, please see me after the meeting. Yeah.
Stevie.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know what food trucks are going to be here for the fourth?
Then do we have the names of them? There's 4. There's a barbecue truck, a pizza truck. Nitro Ice will be back. They were a huge hit. Kettle corn dog. He's an owner, right? Yeah. Yeah. So 4 options this year, because last year it was like, whoo, there was a line. It was like an hour wait to get food. So hopefully those 4 food trucks will make that a little bit easier. Yeah, we'll be doing the sweet treats for sure. Yeah, so if you want ice cream or something, we'll be open for that, absolutely. Six minutes. Yes, sir. Oh, sorry. You look like you had something to say.
There's been a lot of people talking about small RVs in the big spots. Is there anything in the upgrade plans for these sites where you can make some of the small sites a lot more attractive? More people with small units would be more inclined to use them?
Yeah, I mean, all things are being considered. Everything from, if we were to build an additional phase long term, they would be, pull through at a certain angle. And the current sites that we have, how do we make them more user friendly? Again, for the smaller sites as well. So, did you want to say something?
We're actively measuring each site so that we can make those ultimate decisions, and then everything will be fair.
Yeah, and that is something we didn't have before. We didn't. If you go to the front and you say, "Hey, I want a site that's X number of feet long," they couldn't tell how long each site was. So long-term planning committee, they got a group of volunteers that are going around measuring every site. Is it concrete? Is it handicap accessible? Is it, does it have gravel? Is there no gravel? Is it grass? Does it need repair? What's the amps, 50 amp versus 30 amp? All of that information, and then how long is the site, both total length and what is the pad length. So that'll make things a lot easier. Just coming up the front desk and saying, we got anything available in one that's, will fit this size. Right now they couldn't tell you that. So anyway.
Ultimately, we can ask how big your rig is and limit. You cannot park in these certain sites that if you're small, that those are reserved for larger coaches.
That would be one option, but as of right now, it's first come, first serve, anything goes. So, yeah. Yes, ma'am.
My concern is tent sites on these large concrete pads. Do we not have a tinning area? And I understand they can pay the same $12. They get water and electricity, which we do not have water and electricity at any of the tent sites now.
We have electricity at some of the campsites.
We do at some of the tent sites.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yep. Because that's what I've seen this week was tents on some of these large concrete sites. I have nothing against it, but yet somebody comes in with a large rig and they can't get a site because of tents on it.
Yeah, and as of now, there are no specific rules that would limit them from doing that. So it's a struggle because I hear both sides. I hear people say, those larger sites should only be used for larger rigs. We've got a smaller availability than anybody else. And then I hear other people say, I'm an owner just like anybody else, and if it's available, I should be able you know, if I want to put a tent on it, I can put a tent on it. If I want to put a pop-up, I can put a pop-up on it. So that's an ongoing debate, and I don't have the answer for that one.
On the tent sites though, they can't fire, right? That is kind of a.
No.
You can't have fire on the tent site?
No, yeah, no. The Branson Fire Department says no fires in the tent site area. You can have fires, obviously, in the fire rings, but and of course, no open flame like that on your RV site. All right. 3 minutes? Come on now. I just got to say, it is very exciting to see the park this full and full of life. And I know I said it at the beginning of the meeting, but it's wonderful. So enjoy yourself today. If you want to work camp, I'm going to hang out. You can talk to either me or Amy. Amy, raise your hand. Talk to Amy about that. And if you have any questions, let me know. Please have a wonderful day.